The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Sean's here.
Hey, look.
Hey, how are you there, Shawn? Shawn Dupree is the owner of Top Notch Roofing. He's a great guy. And Shawn, let me start by saying, thanks again for coming by the house. Shawn came by directly to fix a leak. And rather than looking at my roof and saying, Tom, it's going to cost you $20 grand. We got to put a new roof on this sucker. He went up, looked, and he said, it's not that bad. We, a couple years you're going to need a new roof no matter what. But we can, I'll send my guys over here when they put a new ridge vent on. They found where the leak was, and everything's been fine.
Good.
And get me right through the winter and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and that's kind of how we like to do business, right? If you don't need a roof, we're not gonna
force
sell
it on you.
you.
You're right.
If we think you need it, we're gonna tell you.
Yep.
If we don't think you need it, we're gonna explain to you what we think the life expectation is of the roof.
And you have the experience to be able to do that too, because some people may just be very myopic and one-sided, right? Where you have all of this construction background as well.
Correct.
So, and what did you do in the construction world? Like, what kind of projects can you take on in that world?
Oh, that's a tough
big
question.
One.
That's a big question because we do a lot of stuff in construction. We've done historical renovations. We do new builds quite often. We do 4 or 5 new buildings every year. We do.
When you say you do the new buildings, what do you mean? Like
ground up? From ground up.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
All the site work, all the concrete work.
Oh, I didn't know you were that deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, all that stuff. Yeah. We did a big project at Hotel Syracuse in 2019. We renovated the second and third floor there.
So Tom knows the hotel real well.
Oh, I do.
So the floor above the Persian Tail. So these were residential. These are rooms.
Correct.
The room areas. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't get usually there. I'm either in the ballroom upstairs.
So you renovated how many rooms? That's a lot of space.
So there's 38 floors or 38 rooms on a floor.
Okay.
So we did.
Yeah.
We did 60 rooms, I think.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So you're well acquainted with the commercial space as far as construction.
Yeah.
Residentially, you're pretty good too, right?
Yeah, we don't do a lot of residential stuff.
No.
In the
Other than
construction
roofs.
world, we'll build a new house from the ground up. Occasionally, we'll do a kitchen or a bathroom or something in the wintertime, but not too often. Right now, we're doing 38 bathrooms down at the La Chorelle Hotel in Ithaca.
That's a lot of bathrooms.
Yeah. And there's some other stuff in there too, but it's mainly the bathrooms. But.
Right.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No.
So this time of year, people are, if they're not leaking, they're probably not thinking about their roof.
Typically.
And a good roof would be covered with snow, yes?
Yeah, it would be.
And if it's not covered with snow, it's really not.
Well, this year especially, right?
Yeah.
So how important is it now? With the amount of snow that we've got here, it's not a big deal. But up in Watertown or down in Buffalo and all that,
Parish, where I live.
Oh, Parish.
There we go.
Yeah. How important is it to roof rake? Or is it?
It depends on how much snow stays on your roof. I mean, if you've got 2 or 3 feet and it doesn't look like it's going to warm up anytime soon, it's a good idea to get it off there.
No, but the roof rake only goes so far. You're only going to get a couple feet in.
You got to get somebody up on there to shovel it off.
Steve's tall enough. You could be in the roof rake business, Steve.
In our old house, Tom, I had the roof rake.
Yes.
With the extension of the extension. And it's very top heavy.
I could see you doing a Chevy Chase and pulling the snow down on your face. Yeah.
Oh, I would miss my face, but because it was a pitched roof, pretty pitched, it would come off pretty easily. But if I didn't do it, the ice would then get around the gutters, and then the gutters, even though the roof was good shape, it still created an issue. So I would go back through there and do that.
I remember several years ago, and this was, I'm talking a couple of decades, maybe at least 10. When we had a bunch of snow. people were going nuts having to shovel off their and they were trying to do it themselves and slipping off roofs.
If you're not familiar with being on a roof, I don't recommend you go on a roof. Hire a professional.
Yeah.
And that's not you. You're not roof shovelers.
No, we're not roof shovelers.
You wouldn't
especially in the wintertime. In the wintertime, it's a whole different ballgame. You're dealing with really slippery conditions, ice, cold, and it's not a smart idea to get up on a roof.
When would you suggest people to have to shovel the snow off? A couple feet?
Yeah, I mean, if you got, most of our houses are built to withstand 120 pounds per square foot.
Okay.
So it depends on the consistency of the snow.
Yeah. If it's thick packing snow.
Thick packing snow, you might want to get it out there at a foot. If it's fluffy,
right?
You might have 2 or 3 feet.
This may surprise you, Tom.
Yes.
Probably not. But we used to jump off our roof.
That explains a ton of stuff.
So you've been to Mom's house. You've been to the house.
Yes,
the back side of the house that Dad built.
Yep.
So we used to go up. We would go up there. Maybe we're shoveling, but then we had piles of snow. We'd just jump right off the roof. And,
that makes sense.
But when you have a lot of snow, it's just kid stuff.
Yeah.
So when will you start doing the actual roofing? Like, will you wait if there was a break and there was some sunshine? Would you roof it?
We'd get one in if we got some high 30, 40 degree temperature.
Oh, it'd have to be that high, okay.
For a couple days.
Right.
January, February is really tough.
Yeah.
By March, we're right back at it, and we're going.
But you can quote it this time of year, yes?
Quote.
Absolutely.
So I have a couple quotes on my street. They're going to be coming your way.
Excellent.
So we're going to take care of them.
So if you're thinking, we should at least get a quote, it's probably time. I mean, there's. We were chatting about in the lobby. There's a zillion roofers, but if you want, I always say, Shawn's not going to dazzle you with his talk. He's going to be like, here's what I would do, very deliberate. Not pushy. It's just not
a lot
you.
of integrity.
So Top Notch Roofing, CNY.com. Make sure you put the CNY in there. Top Notch Roofing, CNY. Or just call the man, 920-7949 if you want to talk roof.
And keep in mind, we're middle of January.
Yeah.
March is only 7 weeks away.
Great.
It's not
Goes
that
by
far.
fast. Yes.
Great point. 920-7949. Thanks, Shawn.
Thank you.
All right.